Hi, I'm Ashley from Sunny Made, and today we are on block 4 of our free block series. Hello friends, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Today we get to sew another block together, and this is part of our free block series. You can decide what you want to do with it. Do you want to take it and make a whole quilt out of it, or do you want to put it together in a sampler quilt down the road? And that's why this series is so fun, is because you can kind of decide what you want to do with it. So let me show you the block we're working on today. It's this fun half square triangles quilt block. If you don't know how to do half square triangles, I'll make sure and link a video of how to make them down in the description box. But pretty much we're going to do half square triangles, and then we're going to put it all together. We're going to create 4 pieces and then sew the 4 pieces together. So what do you need today? You need medium fabric and dark fabric. You need your bright fabric and your contrasting fabric, and of course your background. When we go to the cutting mat, I will go over each size with you, but also I'm putting it together in a blog post, so make sure you go check that out so you can see a written version of this block. Also, make sure you stay till the end. I put it together in a little bit different way as well, so you can see what it would look like in a different version. Okay, let's gather our fabric and go to the cutting mat. Okay, let's first start with what we need. Of our medium fabric, we need 1 7-inch square. This is A. Of our dark fabric, we need 2 4-inch squares. This will be B. Of our bright fabric, we need 2 4-inch squares. This will be C. Of our contrasting fabric is 1 4-inch square. This is going to be D. And of our background fabric, we need 7 4-inch squares. So what I'm first going to do is take A and put it to the side. And then I'm going to take B, C, and D. And then I need 5 of my background fabric. We are going to make half square triangles between my pattern fabric and my background fabric. So what I'm first going to do is draw a diagonal line on each of these, and I'm going to pair them up with my pattern fabric to create half square triangles. Okay, when you're done, you're going to end up with 4 of the dark and background fabric half square triangles, 4 of the bright half square triangles, and 4 of the contrast half square triangles. We are going to now trim these, and they are going to be 3.5 inches. Okay, now that these are all trimmed, we're going to pull our other ease back over here. And what we're going to do, I have 2 of them here, we are going to trim them corner to corner. So we end up with 4 triangles. We are then going to take our contrasting ones, our contrasting half square triangle, and if we put it here with our background up, we are then going to put, I can pull these apart, 1 triangle along this edge and one triangle along this edge, and we're going to create 2 units that look just like this. Okay, we want to make sure that this line is nice and straight so that when we sew it onto our next piece, that it lines up perfectly. So I'm using here a ruler that has a 45-degree angle here. If you have one of those, that's great. If not, you just need a straight edge. And so what I'm going to do is I first look to see how my triangle here in the middle is lining up. I have the 10 line here, it's going right through the point here and through this point, which means that I have sewn them on at the correct angle. So what I'm going to do is just move this out, make sure that 10 line is still going through both of my points here. And then I'm going to just take a my rotary cutter and cut it so I have a nice straight line. And I'm just going to do that to both of them to make sure. See how this one, it has the dog ears sticking out? That'll definitely trim off the dog ears, and make sure that I'm starting off with a nice straight line to sew onto my next piece. So let's lay out this block. We're going to take our A, this is our last piece we haven't worked with, and we are going to cut it in half diagonally, making another half square triangle. So first what we're going to do is we're going to take this one and we're going to sew it with this one, and we're going to make 2 of these that look exactly the same. Then we're going to take our other pieces and we're going to make 2 more that are exactly the same as well. And how we're going to do that is our bright is going to face towards each other, and then we're going to put this dark, get those strings off so that they're facing this direction. So we're going to sew them together in 2 different rows, iron towards the darker pieces, and then sew the rows together so that our seams are nesting beautifully. And we are going to make 2 pieces, 2 squares that look exactly the same. So we're going to sew these 2 together, or these 4 together, and then we're going to sew these 2 together, iron them open, and bring them back here. Okay, so here are our 2 finished blocks. These are going to come out to be 6.5 inches square. If you want to, you might check them with the ruler. I just want to cut off these dog ears to make sure that they're out of the way for when I am ready to sew them all together. Okay, these ones should also be 6.5 inches square. I do see a few places where they're not quite straight, so that's going to be my focus. Okay, and then of course I need to make sure that my dog ears get trimmed off. Whoops. And make sure that your ruler stays in the right spot. Okay, so now it's time to lay it out. We're going to start by putting our medium blue pieces, and they are going to face towards the middle, just like this. And then these ones are also going to point towards the middle. So all our pieces are going to point towards the middle. I'm going to sew them, the top row and the bottom row together, pressing, ironing towards the blue fabric, and then I'm going to sew that row together. Okay, here we have our finished block. It's time to trim it up, just like all our other blocks. This one is going to be 12.5 inches square. So I'm going to line up that center point at 6 1/4 and 6 1/4. Oops, and my thing just moved on me. So it is probably not square now. I hate when that happens. I will just have to be careful when I go to um, put it in my quilt to make sure that I line it up right and it has nice straight edges. And that's why sometimes that just happens. So I'm just going to do one side and the other, one side at a time. I'm going to make sure that my center is always at 6 1/4 and that my horizontal and vertical line up that way as well. And give it a trim. And here we have our finished block. All right, there we have it, our finished block. What do you think of it? It's super easy. I feel like this was an easy one to lay out, to put together. I like the half square triangles. It just created a nice, quick block together. So let me show you what I did with my other fabric, and I want to walk you through that one. So here is my bright fabric. Let me show you real quick at our cutting mat how I put it together. Okay, so here's the pieces to my other block. I put them together just like I did with the first block, all the same, just different colors. What we would normally do is put this together. Oh, just like this. So everything's pointing towards the middle. However, with this block, let's turn this around. Look what a totally different block that turns out. Now, if we were to turn these ones around, it creates a diamond within a square, within a diamond, within a square. I think this is how I'm going to put this block together. And so now you have that finished block. Isn't it fun that just by rotating those 4 pieces, you come out with a completely different block? This one, everything's pointing in. You have that nice diamond. Everything's pointing in. And this one gives you the effect of a square within a square within a square within a square. And it's kind of just fun to be able to rotate it and change things up. So let me know, which one do you like better? I would love to know. Put it down in the comment section. If you have any questions, make sure you also put those down in the comment section, and make sure you find me over on Instagram at Ashley_SunnyMade. I would love to see what you're working on and how your blocks are coming along. I hope you have a great day and happy sewing.